Are you going to tell everyone how they're meant to handle the pandemic? Are you going to give them some, what's your advice? Oh, really? Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where today I am talking all about how this pandemic has affected the parenting of my toddler. So in case you're new here, my name is Jennifer and I make videos all about parenting and pregnancy. If you like that kind of content, you should definitely hit the subscribe button and stick around for more videos. So as I said before, this video is all about how this pandemic has affected my parenting. And I will definitely say that life has changed a lot for us since this all kind of started and went down. So before everything kind of shut down, I took my daughter out a lot. We were out every single day. There was almost never a day where we were at home not doing very much. It was always either swimming or soft play, or trips to the park, or loads of trips to my parents, or just trips down the street. We went out for lunch a lot. We did loads of different things, and there was hardly ever a day where we would be staying at home. So obviously, since a lot of things closed down, in fact everything pretty much closed down, I haven't really been able to get out as much as I used to, especially with Poppy. The parks closed down, so I can't take her to the parks, and that's one of her favourite things to do. Soft play closed down, can't take her to soft play. Swimming closed, can't take her to swimming. You know, for a while I couldn't really even go and see my parents because of the risk. The risk was so unknown that I just didn't want to spread it more than I had to. So all of that, the cafes all shut down, so we couldn't go out for lunch. The only things we could really still do were like go to the beach or go for a walk, so we have been doing plenty of that, thankfully. I just can't imagine if, oh yeah, for a while they were like, oh, don't drive to get your exercise, so we would literally just walk around our village, and that was so depressing. Like, don't get me wrong, I love our village, but I like to go places, I like to be places. I do not like to be, I love being at home. I love being with my family. Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. I love being with my family, but we all feel better when we can go out and do things. Now, the thing that I'm most grateful for is actually that my partner, he was meant to be moving not long after the pandemic started anyway. He's meant to be moving up because he lived somewhere else. We lived quite far apart from each other, and we only really got to see each other for like between 4 and 8 weeks of the year, which was very depressing. Managed to make it up just as people were not being allowed to travel. It was really quite hard to actually get him up here because you needed proof of your address to come here. You needed proof of your address to get to where we live. It's not somewhere where you can just go, especially during times like that where free travel is really restricted. And it's obviously not always like that. We can usually come and go as we please, but during the pandemic it was very much a you can't be here unless you've got proof that you live here. So it was a real fight for him to get here. So yeah, long story short, he did manage to get here, and I would have really struggled if he didn't. We'd have been very lonely. Although actually I think we would have just moved back in with my parents for a few months until we managed to sort things out, or until he managed to get here. So it wouldn't have been the end of the world, but at the same time it's definitely made things a lot easier. One of the biggest issues we found at the beginning was that Poppy would be very confused when we would wear our face masks. So we would put them on and she'd be like, who is this? You've transformed. Where's my parents? Where's my mummy? So that was very hard and confusing for her, but she's so used to it now. She doesn't even bat an eyelid now, which is good. I think that's been like a really hard thing for young kids to get used to, because kids under 2, they don't have to wear a mask. They are exempt from wearing a mask because their airways are too little to cope with the obstruction. So she hasn't been wearing a mask, which is great because you would not keep a mask on her if you tried, and I really hope that it becomes, you know, I really hope that the restrictions on masks can loosen off by the time she's 2 in January, because if they don't, I do not know how I am going to keep a mask on that girl. Don't get me wrong, I see why they are very necessary because they keep everyone's germs to themselves, or at least they do to an extent, you know. They do something, which is important so that we can protect vulnerable people. But of course, when Poppy turns 2, she will no longer be exempt from wearing a face mask, and I have no idea how we will keep one on her because we can barely keep a hat on her. Yeah, so how on earth are we going to keep it? And she'll be so upset. So I don't know what we're going to do. If it's still in place, we're going to have to sort that out, which is a bit of a shame for her because, again, law is law and I respect it because it's there for a reason, but Poppy will not be pleased. The other thing is she has always been a very outgoing child. She's always been very sociable. She's never really had this stranger danger yet. Well, she has now, but I'll get into that. But until the pandemic, she never really developed a stranger danger. She would just happily talk to anyone that would talk to her, especially if I was around. She'd be fine. Like, if she could see me, she'd be fine. But over the course of lockdown, she got more and more introverted. So basically, she'd be happy and fine around me and my partner, but as soon as she saw anyone else, she'd kind of like duck away and hide. She didn't want to talk to them, which is not like her in the slightest. So that's kind of when we decided we were going to start seeing my parents occasionally again. It would be just so that she could see someone that wasn't us. And actually, even though she saw them most days before the lockdown started, she was shy. She was very shy. It didn't take her long to get into it, but she was shy for a bit. Literally took her like 10 minutes each visit for like 2 or 3 visits. It really wasn't much, but it was such a shame to see how that had affected her. And if I didn't have a choice about taking her into a shop, if I had to take her in because my partner was busy or something, then she would, you know, she would hide away in the shop. She didn't want to say hi to anyone, and that's just not like her. And besides, I'm sure a lot of people have gone through the same thing with their children where it's made them very shy. Where's Poppy? Are you ready? Oh, oh, you saying hello?
Hello everybody, I'm here to show you how to apply this blusher. Dip, dip, dip.
Dip, 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 dip. Poppy really likes just stealing my makeup and running around with it. She likes trying to copy what Mummy does with it. It's so cute. Are you doing a tutorial? You're going to be the next Jacqueline Hill? You're the next beauty blogger? Oh, where are you going? Yeah, Poppy came through and wanted to say hello. So, she's still kind of in her pyjamas, so ignore that. Oh, have you found Mummy's nipple cream?
That's good here.
You don't need nipple cream. Although I bet it would be really moisturising for your face.
Yes, it has to be because me.
Oh really? Thank you.
Always pipes. So okay. Sorry. Oh.
A lot of the problems we found with parenting a toddler through lockdown are beginning to ease as we can take her out more. Yeah, you agree, don't you? Do you like going out more?
I already did.
Yeah. So, honestly, I don't really have solutions to these problems. I wish I did. I don't have advice on it. I don't think the only advice I have is like, just don't be too hard on yourself. This is a really tough time for kids, especially when they're not big enough to explain to. No, you just don't get it, do you? You just don't understand. But it has become the new normal. And the new normal is beginning to go back to the old normal slowly, and It's reassuring. It will change. It will go back to the way it was. The only thing I can say is try and stay as social as you can without putting yourself at risk. Take care of yourselves. Do what you can do, you know, and if you are really struggling with your toddler, because toddlers are hard work, do get someone to help you. You are so loud. What are you doing, baby? Am I gonna come and tickle you? Am I gonna come and tickle you? Tickle, tickle, tickle! Was that fun tickling?